All right. So I'd like to welcome everybody. We have just about 250 people in the room right now, which is great. We also have a few of our athletic directors and sports that are running their meetings concurrently with this. So I apologize to the people in Narragansett who are going to see my face huge on a big screen, or Mike's or Carolyn's or anybody else's. But I'd like to welcome everybody to our 2024 Fall Coaches Interpretation Meeting for all of our high school fall coaches. My name's Tom Marcello. I'm the Assistant Executive Director at the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike Lunny, our Executive Director, and I'm going to share my screen so you can see the PowerPoint that we have for you. We put down that this was going to be 45 minutes to an hour. We're hoping to get you out of here in 30 to 35 minutes. The specific agenda that we want to get through. Some of the things we will go through very quickly and are just in the slideshow so that you will have it as a reference. So there's going to be some things that we go back by pretty quickly, but just know that tomorrow we're going to upload this to the school resources page on our website. So you will have everything that we go through. We also have a few other people who will speak periodically throughout the night. And we're already recording this. So you'll be able to rewatch this if you wanted to on YouTube once we get it uploaded. So without further ado, I'm gonna turn it over to the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Executive Director, Mr. Michael Lunny.
Hey, Tom, and good evening, everybody. I'm going to turn my screen off. I just wanted you to see that I was in the car here. I was trying to get home before this meeting started, but I know you can all relate to the transportation issues that we're all dealing with. So I hit a bunch of traffic. So I'm actually in a Walmart parking lot right now doing this. So I'm going to turn my screen off because you don't need to see that this whole time. But again, on behalf of the Principals Committee on Athletics, I just want to welcome everybody to the 2024 fall season. And once again, thank you all for the time that you give to our student athletes. As we start this new school year, as we always do, we want to thank a few people and just share a bunch of information and some helpful resources that you all can use during the season this year. So again, tomorrow, August 15th is the first day of football, and then all other fall sports are going to start on August 19th, next Monday. So I know that you all have been preparing for your seasons and your kids are excited to come back. So we want to wish you luck with all of that. So again, please know that from our perspective, our office, our staff, and all the people that are listed here, we're here to support you in any way we can to help your seasons be successful. So, please don't hesitate to reach out through your administrations, and we're here to support our schools in any way possible to help you help our kids. So again, we got when you call the office, you're probably going to get Sue or Julie, and they'll get you to the right person if you need help with anything. Another person that's on the call today is Carolyn Thornton, who's our Director of Communication and Student Services, and she'll be addressing you on some of the initiatives that we have. We also have Chuck Jackson, who helps us with all of our corporate sponsorships, who's also on the call today. And then obviously Tom Marcello, our Assistant Executive Director, who's kind of manning the ship right now for us on this PowerPoint. So in addition to this meeting, this virtual call, there also, and we've sent this information out to the schools already, we've got a lot of sport specific rules interpretation meetings that are coming up in each sport. I think tennis had their meeting last night, and all the other ones are upcoming. So again, there's going to be a lot more sport specific information that you're going to be able to get at those meetings. So make sure you put those on your calendar and attend those meetings.
Hold on. There we go.
And again, want to thank our official orthopedic provider, Ortho Rhode Island, and for all their support over the years. Really have been a tremendous group to work with. Once again, this year they offered free participation physicals to students. They've got offices now all over the state. In Warwick, Providence, Wakefield, Westerly, and Middletown. I want to thank Dr. DeLuise for representing Ortho Rhode Island, who's on the call today, and I'm going to kick it to him, and he can share a couple of words. But again, most importantly, I want to talk about Ortho Rhode Island Express, and the amount of support that they can give. If your kids are hurt and injured, and you're trying to get them to return to play, and you need to get them seen, Ortho RI Express is the best way of doing that. And again, they will put a priority on RIL athletes and getting them to be seen and to the right person and get them back on the field and courts as fast as possible. But Dr. DeLuise, I know you're on the call, and if you don't mind maybe sharing a couple of words with us.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Tom. Hi, everybody. Good evening. First, I'd like to wish all the coaches and athletes safe and fun sport seasons, winter, spring, fall, etc. So we've had a great partnership with Rhode Island Interscholastic League for many years. I just want to put a quick plug in for Ortho RI Express. Our main campus in Warwick will see patients from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. We just redid our Providence office, and by late fall, early winter, we'll have after hours on Saturdays and from 5 to 8. Right now, we still see patients in Providence from 9 to 4. And then we also see patients for Ortho Express in Middletown. We do prioritize the patients. Just call 777-7000. I was thinking about giving everyone my cell phone number in case a lot of the other coaches do that, and I'm going to. A lot of the other coaches do that, and if there's any issues or concerns, especially if it's on a Saturday night or a Sunday and they want to know what to do, just text me. I mean, I would hope that you don't give it to every single parent in the state, but just text me and I'll make sure that your athlete is seen appropriately on Monday morning. My cell is 401-793-6931, 401-793-6931. And I'll make sure that in case it's after hours, especially if it's on a Saturday night or a Sunday, just give me a call. And I think that's it. I mean, if any questions, I'm happy to answer, but we love taking care of our high school athletes. It's a lot of fun, and we really try to get them back on the field as soon as we can.
Thank you, Dr. DeLuise. That's really nice of you to share your cell phone number, and that's great service, and I know that our coach is going to really appreciate that. One other thing I wanted to just call attention to is the injury prevention program that Tracy Gannon is heading up. And again, if you're interested in this, it's doing a lot of preventive stuff. Let's not wait for injuries to happen. You can again get a free 1-hour session for coaches, athletes at your school. Just reach out to Tracy, and again, all this information is going to be up online, and also you can access through the recording as well later on. But again, Dr. DeLuise, thanks for all you do, and thank you to Ortho RI for all they've done for us and supporting our league.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Good luck, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And now at this time, I want to, as we always do, bring in Sean O'Neill from Adrenaline Fundraising. For those of you that I know budgets are tight, and I know that Sean has done a tremendous job with all of our schools over the years and giving those extra funds that our programs need to survive. So, Sean.
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate it. I'll be really quick. I know nobody likes to talk about fundraising, but yeah, I mean, the last couple of years have been insane. Between my coworker Juan, who a lot of you know who he is, he's doing an amazing job. Between the two of us, we're doing close to 200 fundraisers in Rhode Island alone. I mean, the numbers we put up are bananas. We have 5 fundraisers going right now, and almost every one of those teams are going to do between $10,000 and $20,000, which is just crazy. But the bottom line for Adrenaline is I've been doing this for 21 years in the state of Rhode Island, and bottom line, you guys aren't numbers to me. You're not just somebody that I'm trying to make money off of or support my family. Like, I've been working with a lot of you for 21 years, which is pretty amazing. And, when it comes to Adrenaline and our philosophy, it's about our teams, and it's not about the number that you're at. You're actually somebody that means a lot to us, and we love doing what we do. It doesn't matter if you're an inner city school or a non-inner city school. If you need to make money, we're going to come and help you. And we're going to be there every step of the way. We're not going to send you an email with a bunch of information saying, good luck. I'll send your check when you're done. So I love what I do. I love working with my coaches. I've been working with a lot of you for 21 plus years, and I hope to continue doing that for a long time. The other part too is Adrenaline's committed to security. So we're the only fundraising company in the country that is SOC 2 certified. So what SOC 2 certification means is it's the highest level of certification any technology company can have. And yes, we're now a tech company. We have an app that makes fundraising easy. You don't have to go door to door if you don't want to, all of that. But bottom line, you can't get SOC 2 certified unless you refuse to sell or redistribute contacts. The SOC 2 certification has like 3,000 audits that they do to even allow you to be that certification. So the bottom line with that, I tell my coaches, it's basically about driving without insurance. You can do it, but if you get in an accident, you're screwed. So same thing here. Something bad happens, and it is what it is. Technology is technology. We're covered. Your supporters are covered. Your student athletes are covered. Everybody's covered by being this certification. And we do everything. We're not just a one-trick pony. We don't just beg for money. We have a ton of fundraisers. All of our fundraisers, we combine with donations, making it best of both worlds. Bottom line is, a lot of people are sick of just giving money for no reason. Whether they buy a $30 product or a $25 overpriced product, they like to have that option. And we're one of the only companies in the country that can give that option. So we're filling up quick. I did give my cell phone on the chat. If you want to hear it now, I'm going to say it. It's Sean O'Neill, 508-404-6238. 508-404-6238. We're filling up. It's Juan and I, over 200 fundraisers in Rhode Island alone. So if you're looking for a fundraiser, reach out to us ASAP so we can get you on the schedule. If not, you're going to have to wait till September. So the sooner you reach out, the sooner we can get you in our books, and the sooner we can make you the money you want. Our fundraisers last for 2 weeks. Not 4, not 5, not whatever. 2 weeks. You get paid within a week of the fundraiser being completed. It's not a 4-week fundraiser having to wait 3 to 4 weeks for your check. It happens quick. So if you start a fundraiser today, 2 weeks later, I'll literally drive by your practice and give you a check if you need it that quick. So that's all I got to say. Thank you. I appreciate all the loyalty that I've had, and the relationship I've had with Rhode Island Interscholastic. It's been great. It's a good organization, and I'm here to help anybody out who needs it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean. All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Sean and Dr. DeLuise for coming on and just giving a little bit more information about how they can serve our membership and our kids through your education-based athletic programs. Moving on now, we do have a Dick's Sporting Goods coupon here that is good for this weekend. The dates are valid, although they were sent out by Dick's Sporting Goods across the country with the word spring in them. Please disregard the word spring, but they are good from the 16th through the 18th, and you cannot use them online. You can use them in store, and the great part about going in store is if there is something online that you don't see, they can order it and have it shipped right to you. So while you do have to make the trip to the store, You can get any product that they have available online as well. And then secondly, this is our second year of our bowl agreements. These are all of our bowl agreements across all three seasons. So here we have our volleyball, football, and soccer bowls. These are the official bowls of the Interscholastic League that will be used throughout the playoffs, including those games at home sites. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Lunny to pick up the Rhode Island Interscholastic Injury Fund.
Okay, thanks, Tom. And again, just want to call attention to the injury fund. And again, they're a separate organization from us, but it's a critical group that we support. And the most important thing is to make sure that you connect with your athletic directors to make sure that your teams and your programs are covered. Because in the event of an injury, the injury fund is going to help supplement what insurance doesn't cover. So again, all the information is there on their website, www.injuryfund.org. And again, we'll be connecting with your principals, your athletic directors, to make sure that they understand how to access the injury fund in the event that someone gets injured. So just be aware of that, and make sure that you're informed, and make sure that your athletic directors connect you with the right information for that. As we always talk about, when it comes to eligibility at the start, especially in the fall, at the start of each season, there's a number of things that need to be done before student athletes are cleared to participate, whether it's medically, whether it's academics, whether it's transfer situations, enrollment, age. There's a lot of things that we work with your schools on, your administration on. The most important thing from a coach's perspective is do not put anybody on the field or into a participation or a practice unless they've been cleared by the school administration. So just make sure that that's something that's a priority. It's something that we emphasize all the time. Health and safety has to be at the forefront of everything that we do, and making sure the kids are cleared to participate by all rules and regulations and by medical practices is most important. So again, just want to make sure that we highlight that. I know the start, parents can put a lot of pressure on people trying to get into practices, and they just can show up. Just make sure you've got a process in place to get those kids clear as fast as possible. Eligibility list. So again, it's the school administration's responsibility to make sure that if they put a student's name on an eligibility list, that they are certifying that they are eligible by all standards. So just know that that the eligibility list for fall, the deadline for having those up online is Thursday, August 31st. So again, when you're working with your school administrations, just make sure that those rosters are complete, that if it's a sport that has numbers, numbers and positioning and different things, that that information is all plugged into the system before your first game, just to make sure that no one is left out in those situations. So just another thing that we want you to make sure you check from your end with your administrations. Tom?
All right. So we're going to dovetail here into a little bit about officials. All right. We all have a responsibility to treat officials with the utmost respect, just like all of our coaches and our athletic directors and us here in the office. Many of our officials love the game. They love participating in high school sports. They love being part of it. Everybody makes mistakes across the board. And that's just part of the game. But we always want to treat each other, treat our opponents, treat our visiting schools, if you're the host schools, and our officials with the utmost respect. And one of the ways to do that is to partake in the NFHS Full Sports Official Appreciation Week, which you can see here is taking place in October. We've had a lot of success and a lot of publicity throughout the years, with everybody just coming together. And whenever you have in a typical game, you have a home team and away team, and we like to think about it as a third team on the field as well, and those are our officials. And they really do a great job. We have a number of people who give of their time in order to make these games happen. We just want to make sure that those are always that's always at the forefront with our coaches, with our athletes, and especially in the stands with our parents. And that kind of goes right into this next slide because we all know as coaches, being a former coach myself, as a head coach, you're one of, if not the most influential people in these young people's lives. So whatever you permit, you promote. What you allow, you encourage, and what you condone, you own. So your leadership with sportsmanship is paramount. What you do, your kids will do, they will follow, and so will your parents, almost all of them. So this is our Article 12 sportsmanship. Our Article 12 of the rules and regulations of the Interscholastic League is all about sportsmanship and the role that each type of person, whether it be parents, athletes, athletic administrators, coaches, the role that we all have in promoting sportsmanship throughout these education-based athletic programs. I'm not going to go through all of those, but it's a quick read if you go to our website and click on Article 12. There are a number of NFHS programs that are aimed to help with sportsmanship. We've been fortunate that we've only had a few instances with parents, but there have been some programs across the state that have required parents to take the parent seat, which is really an online course just dedicated to explaining to some parents who really don't understand what their role is, exactly how to be good sportsmen and how to support their children and their teams in a positive way. They also have a great toolkit that we link here in this slide. It's a toolkit that has a whole bunch of posters and things that you can put up that promote good sportsmanship across. They can be used. There's live PA reads. There's a lot of great things here that can be utilized at the school level to be used during games to promote good sportsmanship. On that same note, I'm going to turn it over to Mike to talk about our Even Field program.
So we've had a relationship with a nonprofit called Even Field for a few years. We had done some things prior to COVID with them. Even Field was founded by Chuck Wilson. For those of you that might have remembered him, he's retired now, but he was a longtime ESPN radio host. Lives in Rhode Island, very passionate about Rhode Island, but just a man of great character, and he put together Even Field to support sportsmanship initiatives, not only in our state but across the country. And just want to call attention to this because you're going to be receiving some more information about this. But we are going to start a promotion or an initiative this year that's going to honor effort and attitude awards. Chuck and his group are going to capture video and different things to promote positive events that happen across our state. And then it's going to culminate in May, on May 22nd, over at URI with a dinner, like a gala type event, almost kind of like the ESPYs type of a situation where we're going to honor people across our state that did some positive things across the year. So, again, something that we can promote at all times, something for kids to shoot for adults to shoot for. We're going to get more information out on this, but we're really excited about this program and our relationship with Chuck Wilson's group and what they represent. So again, just know that that's out there, and we'll get more information to you as the year goes on. So again, health and safety, there's just a few things that we want to highlight. I know George Finn, the athletic director at Director of Athletics at Barrington High School, He's been the longtime chairperson of our Sports Medicine Advisory Committee. We meet with that group several times a year to talk about health and safety initiatives and recommendations that we can all use to make things safer for our kids. This time of year, we always want to be cognizant of heat acclimatization, emergency action planning, and things like that. So George, if you're there, if you want to come on and maybe just highlight a couple of things that we have coming up.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Just real quick, just to remind you about emergency action plans, and just make sure you reach out to your school administration, make sure you have your plan in place, do all the things that you need to do, and be prepared. Be prepared for any situation that may happen. We hope that everyone has a health and safe fall season, but we all know that injuries do happen, and you need to be ready for them. And at times they could be significant. So as coaches, we all need to be prepared for all of that. And then in terms of, the heat acclimatization, I mean, obviously we have these policies in place that's for the health and safety of your student athletes to slowly get them acclimated to heat as we prepare for, August typically for us is a warmer month. I mean, we had some hot days in the middle of July. It's been kind of seasonably right now, but who knows what's going to happen towards the end of August. Make sure you give your kids plenty of water breaks. And, if they're saying something, listen to them. Don't just ignore, a complaint here or there, because it could turn into a serious issue. If you do have an athletic trainer, make sure you use them as your resource at your school. If you don't, make sure you kind of review and make sure you take that heat course through the NFHS so that if you do have a heat illness issue, you are ready and prepared for anything that you need to do. Other than that, feel free to reach out to myself, obviously Mike or Tom. We're happy to help in any way we can to get you ready for everything. Mike just threw out the cold water immersion tub. That's something that we've kind of been pushing to, and hopefully your schools have purchased them. We do have a system here in place at our school where we are ready in case of a heat emergency and have tubs prepared for all of our fall sports, especially on those hot days. If you do not have the wet globe bulb temperature piece, that's something that you should have as well. Again, feel free to reach out. Happy to help in any way. Thank you.
Thanks,
Mike,
George.
you just want to pick up and maybe just talk a little bit about the pregame safety card?
Yeah, so again, the pregame safety card, which there's a copy of, we have that on our website, but there's also a copy here. And again, as George mentioned, I mean, it's optimal to have an athletic trainer. The reality is that with the amount of practices, the amount of available trainers, that they're not always around for all of our events. We put together this pregame safety card as a recommendation for you to use. It's just a quick checklist of things that you can do. You can bring both coaches together, the officials, game management, and just get organized. So in the event, and hopefully it doesn't happen, but in the event of a catastrophic issue, everybody knows what to do, what type of medical coverage is at an event. It doesn't take very long to implement this prior to a game. So we really highly encourage people to review this and really talk to your school about making it part of your pregame rituals. It's really a great way to avoid the situations where if there was an injury out there where people start yelling, "Where's the trainer?" It's just really just getting organized prior to a game. So please consider putting that into action. And then the last piece that I just want to talk about from a health and safety standpoint, again, when your administrations are putting together medical coverage for an event, obviously, again, we love athletic trainers to be available, but sometimes you can't get that. Any medical professional that's covering an event is better than none. However, just know, and this is the information that's on there, that each one of those people have different licenses and certifications and can only do certain things. So for example, I'm not going to go through all of them, but for example, if you have an EMT that's covering an event, just know that they can only treat and transport your athletes. So just make sure you're familiar with what they can and can't do. So don't put pressure on EMTs to return kids to play and put them in situations where they're not allowed by their certifications to do things. So again, optimal situation is to have an athletic trainer. If not, any medical professional is better than none. And again, the information that we've got posted here just kind of talks about their roles and responsibilities and what they're allowed to do. So I think that's helpful information to familiarize yourself with. And again, on our website, we've got additional resources that you can access and review on your own time. Tom?
All right, so we're a little bit behind, but we're going to try and speed it up right now. Coaches requirements. Article 13 is all about coaching requirements. The number one thing for our coaches to understand is that any adult who has access to students through your athletic programs must be certified fully, whether they're a volunteer and do not get paid, whether they're a paid assistant coach or unpaid assistant coach, anybody must go through that coach's certification process. And that's really to protect yourselves, protect your administration, protect your school. All of the coaching requirements can be found on our website in Article 13. We just have a quick rule spotlight, just a quick stat for you. We had roughly 11,000 contests last year at the high school level between freshmen, JV, and varsity. And I would say 99% of those were at our member schools. And of those 11,000, we had roughly 3,000 games that included some sort of a change. And there's sometimes when changes to games cannot be avoided, but we'd really like to focus on eliminating as many of those changes as possible, and for coaches to just understand that when you go to reschedule games, they must be scheduled for the next day. Now, obviously, if you're talking about a game field which has field hockey, football, soccer, and soccer, there's going to be, you might be the soccer coach. You might get rained out on a Tuesday, on Wednesday. You don't have the field available because there's a field hockey game. That's understandable. But if the field is available and the officials are available, our games must be rescheduled to the next day. So that's very important for our coaches to understand, because not only are there a lot of people involved with these games outside of your school, but it can also be a financial impact if you're changing it to a time or date that the officials are not available. On our coaches corner, which we'll get into in a little bit more, we have a great school resources page that has a lot of information for our coaches and administrators. We have our coaches certification website where all of our coaches, again, whether you're a volunteer, paid, head assistant, it doesn't matter. All of our coaches need to be registered on the coaches certification website after being appointed by their athletic directors. This is just I'm not going to go through it. It's a quick 1, 2, 3 step to download your coach's honor roll program level 1 certificate. I'm not going to go through all of that. When each of you log into the activity scheduler as a coach, there is a training grounds there, which has a section for coaches on how to do a lot of different things within the system, some good tutorials and startup guides, including one that shows coaches how to go about uploading all of their certificates into the coaches registration website. We have some other web-based resources on our website. We have new menu drop-down, and Carolyn Thornton has done just a tremendous job of reorganizing all of our pages and making it a little bit simpler to get where you need to go. Officials will go to the officials tab. Students will go to the students tab. Coaches will go to the coaches corner. Athletic directors and principals have an administrators tab. Fans have their tab. And then there's our traditional sports and tournaments. And new for this year is the fact that we are, for the first time in over 100 years, we are offering middle school sports, with which all of our public schools and most of our private schools are taking advantage of. So when you get a second in your busy schedules, just take a look at the new website, figure out where everything is. It's the pages are the same, but there's just might be a different way to get there. Just a little bit more about our rules and regulations and all, and there's a lot of different things in each of these drop down menus. A lot of information that was scattered before is now focused into these less options at the top of our website. So we have the coaches corner, we have our sports, which has another link to middle school sports. We have our on the right here, you see football. This is what all of our sport pages will look like, with a sport specific handbook that's replacing our sport committee and cover sheets. So just we're really trying to put everything that coaches might need in one place. All right. We have for this fall, we have cross country, tennis, and soccer that all have third-party responsibilities for coaches to report scores, or in soccer's case, report yellow and red cards. Universal tennis has a requirement to report their matches. Cross country does all of their entries on mile split. We also have our other sports here for the winter and the spring. This is our contact at Max Preps. I can also be used as a resource, but Jerry is wonderful, very responsive at Max Preps to any coaches who want to take advantage of uploading stats. There's Max Preps has a very sophisticated stat program that is able to do just about anything you want. And all of when we talk about Max Preps, all of our rosters, schedules, and standings are all automatically updated in Max Preps from our website. So you as a coach don't have to upload any rosters. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to upload your schedule. There might be a few tweaks that have to be done here or there, but Max Preps is a great resource for athletic programs and individual sports. All right, just a little more information there. And I'm going to turn it over to CT Carolyn for our very last portion of the show tonight for our RIIL initiatives.
Thank you, Tom. One point about the kind of reorganizing of the website. We try to think, we obviously know where things are because we put them there, and we're trying to think the way a parent does, or a student, or a coach, or an administrator. So I'm always open to input and feedback on that. And if something isn't so obvious to you in terms of where to find it, I'd love to hear that feedback so that we can streamline the system for everyone and make it easy for you to find what you need and what you need to do. So we have initiatives, we have lots of them. Hopefully, if anyone who has coached beyond this year, if this isn't your first year, hopefully you've heard about all these initiatives at some point. I'm not going to go into each one of them. There's links to everything if you want to learn more, and we will be adding more initiatives as they become confirmed throughout the year. But the one that I do want to just focus on right here, because we just confirmed the date today, is our fall leadership workshop for students is going to be Wednesday, October 16th at Camp Fogarty. We do this in partnership with Rhode Island Army National Guard and iHeartRadio. And we'll send this information. We ask the schools to register the students, and we'll post it on our social media and when it's time for that to happen. But as coaches, we really hope that you will encourage your kids to participate in these workshops, because I think they will benefit in so many different ways. It's just great. They kind of have to go outside their comfort zone a little bit and hopefully pick up some tips about how to be a good leader on the field, in the classroom, in life in general. We really see some great stuff happening at these workshops every year. So that's the date. Make a note of it. And if you see it on social media, please encourage your students to participate. Again, just going to go through very quickly. Traffic Safety is a Team Sport is the RIIL's campaign, safe driving campaign with RIDOT. And, you know, as I say every year, and Tom, feel free to scroll through these next few slides as I talk. You know, again, coaches are great mentors and role models to their athletes. So we ask you to model good behavior when it comes to getting behind the wheel, making smart choices, and keeping everyone safe by doing our part when we're on the road. This is a QR code to our traffic safety pledge. It takes a minute. If you could maybe at some practice this season, just make it a point to have everybody jump on their phone real quick while they're not driving and take this pledge. We would really appreciate it. Again, if everyone does their part, hopefully we can reduce the number of fatalities on the road. Again, we've had them throughout the summer. You've probably heard about some really tragic situations involving people of all ages, and we're all responsible when we get behind the wheel. So please do your part with that. What do we have next? Showcase Team of the Week is back. The nomination, the form, it's an online link. It'll be on our website. We'll post it on our social media as well. If your teams are doing some great stuff on and off the field, we really love to see the community service efforts that are being done. Feel free to take a minute to nominate your teams once that program gets underway. Operation Clean Competition, another great program, great resources on our website. Free, literally free, no strings attached programming that can be delivered at your school to your teams. We can arrange that. Virtual programming is possible. So feel free to explore that when you have a moment. Ref reps, I don't know if Tom, I don't know if we get to touch on this, some information. It's a way for students who think they want to go into officiating to take these courses through their school. And again, it's a partnership that the league has to try to do our part to bring more officials into your organizations. Follow us on social media, tag us, follow us, all that other good stuff. Use your social media for good and not evil. And that's all I have to say.
And I just like to add that, you know, our nickname for Carolyn is Slash, among other things. But you know, she really does a tremendous job with our social media. Any way that you could you know, promote the league's social media would be tremendous. And if you tag Carolyn in any of these, you know, mainly on Twitter or even on Instagram, she will also reshare that to our group. And you know, it's you know, getting out on social media, it's really done a lot for the league. So thank you, Carolyn. Mike, any last words, Mike?
Yep, thanks, Tom. Yeah, just last thing to leave you with, again, just a reminder, you know, again, these are school-based education opportunities. So let's keep that in perspective as we go into our seasons. Sports, high school sports are the vehicle for us to teach values and citizenship. And, you know, let's take advantage of those opportunities as best we can and have a great year. So on behalf of our staff and the Principals Committee on Athletics, again, thank you for signing on. And best of luck to you this fall. And if we can be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks.
All right, we took a little bit longer than we wanted to, but just like to wish everybody a happy and healthy fall season. Please don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll see you out there on the athletic fields. Thank you, everyone.